How's it going, y'all? This is OBB, the Diecast News Guy, bringing you all with another next-gen Diecast review provided by my good friends at Circle B Diecast. Make sure to use that promo code OBYT to get $5 off of shipping on your next purchase, and it's got to be $30 or more, otherwise that code's not going to work, and yeah, you'll be SOL, so. Or for anybody who does not know that, that is shit out of luck, my friends. But today, it's going to be on a diecast that I think a lot of military people are going to love, especially with, Veterans Day coming up in the next 2 months. We got ourselves Erik Jones, that Jones boy, in his 2022 USAF, or as known as the United States Air Force, Chevrolet Camaro Z01 1LE4 Petty GMS. And yeah, pretty cool, guys, I must say. I mean, I know a lot of people are quite familiar with this paint scheme because, the great Erik Estep, was able to get his, was like the first, YouTuber that was able to, get his hands on a next-gen diecast. So pretty historic, to say the least, for, in terms of like diecast history. But yeah, really nice, guys. I mean, Erik Jones has already driven this car 3 times this year, and we'll probably get into more of that second, guys. But looking at this box, this is the second Erik Jones diecast that we got released for 2022, along with the Focus Factor car, which, of course, he just won his second Darlington Southern 500 win. So that's pretty darn cool. But anyways, let's go and kick off this diecast review and the official unboxing of that Jones boy, known as Erik Jones, and his 2022 USAF car. And alrighty, guys, we got this diecast out of this box, and man, let me tell you what, this is a really solid looking painting that we got. I mean, as you guys know, the United States Air Force is the only military branch that sponsors motorsports. I know they just recently left, their IndyCar program with Connor Daly, but they still sponsor, Erik Jones and the Petty GMS team. Petty Enterprises before they merged with, GMS. But man, there's so much great history with this number and this sponsor. It's not even funny, and I'm kind of liking this nice little new look, as we do got a little bit of a chassis issue right here. Look at that. My lord, you thought my Shores card that I had from Wave 2 was bad. Oh lordy, look at this. This thing has a working suspension. Isn't that just beautiful? Beautiful for, a $10 quality car. So oh lordy, well, it's a standard line of quality control, so I can't really complain anymore because that's how things are. So but we got ourselves a lot of Jones up in this bitch. But right here we got Erik Jones. But on a positive note, guys, let me say this is actually the first time I've actually do see on a Petty GMS diecast that it has the same type of rims that you get, I believe, on the Henrik on the Henrik cars, which I think is pretty cool. It's like that nice gunmetal finish. It kind of goes well with this paint scheme. This paint scheme was designed. They did like a nice little fan vote on their Twitter, at like the beginning of this season or something like that. They decided to do a little fan vote, and I guess there was like 3 different designs. But this design won. I think this was like design number 3, and it was created by, actually, I believe, what was it? A technician sergeant known as Andrew J. Brockman. So that's pretty cool that they actually got people who actually served or probably are serving in the U.S. Air Force to design this paint scheme. So it's pretty cool, man. That's pretty nice. I mean, I love that. I love the military green, so I think that's pretty darn cool. But this is supposed to represent, I believe, the B-29 stealth bomber, I believe. So if you guys probably are familiar with that with like your Call of Duty games, so yeah, I know that. That's how I know that. So those things are badass. Let's just say that, man. Good old B-29 bomber. I think the other 2 paint schemes that we had, I think the first one was the Thunderbird, which was pretty cool. It had like the gray background with the red and white. Looked pretty cool. I thought that one was probably going to get a nice little easy boat. And then I think the other one was a P-51 75th anniversary of that car. So I must say, I mean, that one was a little iffy. I mean, I thought, like, I don't know, like, I know all these are based off, like, actual, liveries and paint schemes of, like, actual, what, like, jets that, that served. But, I don't know, I think the second one was probably my least favorite just because, the yellow and the checkered flag and the silver background didn't work well. This one, I think, probably just worked so good because, it's pretty safe. But I like how it's kind of like, reminds me of, like, what they did with the Warthog paint scheme for, like, a few years ago when Bubba Wallace drove that car. Yeah, because it has like these nice gunmetal. It has like not gunmetal, but it has like these little rivets right there to kind of show you guys the texture of like what the plane was. But it's pretty cool, guys. We get the U.S. Air Force right there, and you see the hood vents. Chevrolet Camaro with the Chevrolet logos. You gotta love that bow tie. We got a nice, very very bright petty blue right there on the 43. But you see all the curvatures right there, really nice. Do got a headlight that is sticking out, but heck, at least it is applied there, unlike the Cinder car. Get the good Petty GMS logo right there, those nice gunmetal rims, which actually look pretty nice. I thought I wasn't going to be a big fan of the petty blue being on here, but it's not really petty blue, but it's like a dark blue, but it looks pretty well. I mean, I thought it'd be out of place, but it kind of goes well with this, in like a unique way. The Cup Series squishing it right there, and we got like these old platoon stripes right here, which is pretty cool. We got the red 43 on top with a nice Dart outline. U.S. Air Force, I think they did a good job, representing this car, guys, because this is supposed to represent, oh, yeah, I guess it's the 75th anniversary of the Air Force, so it's pretty cool. But you can see the rest of the sponsors right here if you guys want to. I mean, I could point out what all the sponsors are, but you know how I am on these diecast reviews. If you can see the sponsors, unless you got a car from Wave 3 of NASCAR Authentics, then you are probably in good hands. Well, probably All-State hands. Not so fast. We got ourselves a paint chip right there. All right, I'm going to hold the phone on this. Does anybody got a Sharpie so I can fix that shit? Because, heck, no one line now. They're not going to do that for me. On the back, we got some more rivets right there. The Chevrolet logo is a little cut off right there. Then coming to this side right here, it should be the same as the other side, besides a wobbly suspension. And then there's the bottom if you guys want to see that, made in good old China. And yeah, Erik Jones, what the hell happened right here? I thought that was a paint chip. I was like, oh no, we're about to see a freaking Bloody Murder diecast review. So yeah, Erik Jones debuted this paint scheme at the spring Talladega race, and he almost had a good shot of winning in this car, guys. I think he finished 6th, and he led a few laps, so that's pretty nice. But I think he also drove this car at Road America, and then very recently at the Bristol Night Race, which that race was absolutely chaotic. I mean, Erik Jones had some repercussions during that race. I mean, with those damn, right side tires. I mean, good Lord, guys. And then we saw the craziness that happened at Texas. I'll tell you what, man. I think these crappy parts and these crappy Goodyear tires are really starting to show forth the flaws that NASCAR has. Some of the many, but my God, I'm still trying to recover from that Bristol night race, even though it's been like 2 or 3 weeks now. But apparently Texas was pretty bad as well. But I didn't even bother watching. I watched some of the highlights. But getting back to the diecast, guys, let me tell you what. I think Erik Jones and Petty GMS are really going to be on a nice little streak for next year, guys. Especially if they're going to be adding Noah Gragson to the lineup instead of Ty Dillon. So that's a big upgrade because Gragson has been absolutely dominant in the Xfinity Series. I mean, he could be a contender for the for the championship for the Xfinity Series. But knowing how these playoffs are, anything can happen. And as long as Goodyear is a supplier for NASCAR, then who knows what the hell's going to happen. But now let's get on to the side-by-side comparison of last year's U.S. Air Force car, which was, the Tuskegee Airmen car, which I got to admit, I really do like that the U.S. Air Force, comes up with these paint schemes. I think a lot of veterans, are going to really love this, especially anybody who likes your military history. I think you guys are really, I really do like what U.S. Air Force has done. They literally just take the liveries and the paint schemes from their fighter jets, or wherever they fly, and they just apply them on the car, and they have worked. They have absolutely worked, man. But I think this year's looks really cool with that nice dark military green. I mean, it's definitely military, all right. I think some camo would be nice, but heck, for a military car that doesn't have camo, it still looks pretty darn badass, guys. I mean, my God, you can't go wrong with that. And this diecast review goes out to anybody out there who is serving in the U.S. military. No matter what branch you are, you definitely have my support because I grew up in a military base in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, so home in the 101st Airborne. So you guys have my support and appreciation of military family members and loved ones, because I know how it feels, guys, and that's why I'm always blessed to do these reviews. And probably a good reason why I love collecting military diecast, because this one right here was just one I just had to get. I mean, I didn't even question if I should get it or not. But feel free to comment below if you have anything else to share about this, as I'm going to go and wrap up this diecast review of that Jones boy and his 2022 U.S. Air Force stealth bomber. What was it? Chevrolet Camaro Z01 10E for Petty GMS Racing. Kiamai Scribe in this Minobi. I'll see you guys next time on another Next Gen review, and happy to keep doing this stuff for y'all.